Welcome in, everybody, to the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, live here for the I-85 Asphalt Series Wheeling Modified Division from the Phoenix International Raceway here in Arizona. We got a packed out crowd here tonight, getting ready to tack on the fourth race of the season for the I-85 Asphalt Series. We'll throw up tonight's I-85 Asphalt Series Cactus Jack Classic. It is going to be a banger here today. It is hot as hell outside of this 1 mile length asphalt oval. We got about 14, 15 modifieds wheeled in here tonight. In the blend there, wheeling, getting ready to knock out a beautiful heat race. Ladies and gentlemen, the quickest 6 drivers will lock in on time here tonight, and everybody that falls below the 6th place fastest qualifying spot will be placed into the LCQ qualifying race. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have those results for you right here, and on the pole here tonight will be the number 71 of Adam Polford, excuse me. He will continue to dominate here in season 2 of the Wheeling Modified Division. Looks like, ladies and gentlemen, everybody below the 6th place spot, which will be Adam Peeler making the last way in on the heat race here. So looks like Nicholas Maynard on down will find their way to the heat race here on the Phoenix International Raceway. We're moments away from having the drivers load into their race cars and get things cranked up and loaded here tonight. There they are. Getting ready to kick off the heat race here tonight at the Phoenix International Raceway, live here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. So we got 9 modifieds going to kick out the one and only LCQ race here tonight. Everybody will advance. We'll have that for you momentarily. On the pole here tonight from Wilford, South Carolina, the 7th fastest qualifying driver from Wilford, South Carolina, the overplay modified of Nicholas Maynard. On the front row outside of him, driving the number 10, Mayhew modified from Greer, South Carolina. That's the boogeyman, Corey Tesner. Things shaking and baking over here on my screen. Driving in a 3rd place spot here tonight from Buffalo, New York. That's the 15-year-old modified driver of Carson Colechland. Starting in the 2nd row, 4th place spot here tonight. Driving the number 33, Bald Eagle modified. That's Tony Cook. And driving the Cookout 22 modified from High Point, North Carolina. Go check on over to the YouTube page at Fabric Sharpener for all the in-car camera views. That's the El Diablo, Chris Schaffner. And on the outside of him, driving the 00 Property Maintenance BK modified from Middletown, New Jersey. That's Mike Doyle. And on the inside of him coming from New Bern here tonight, driving the number 99 modified. That's Dakota Pignataro. Starting in the 8th place spot here tonight, driving a backup modified from Greenville, South Carolina. That's the Country Time Lemonade Flavored Packet 24 modified of James Fountain. And starting shotgun tail into the field here tonight from Pilser, South Carolina. Ready to shake, rattle, and roll. That'll be the number 7 of Travo Wall. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to go racing here tonight in Phoenix. We'll go over to you momentarily here. Here are the keys of the race. It'll be a 10-lap heat race here tonight with everybody advancing. You're going to find your keys of the race. We'll go back over these one more time before we take the green flag here tonight for the main event. 60 laps are scheduled out here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. It'll be in the hands of Freddie the Flagman as they come through the Geico restart zone. Nicholas Maynard on the pole here in heat race number 1. Green flag flies in the air for the Cactus Jack Classic. We're live and racing here in Phoenix. Everybody electing to take the dog leg down here. If you didn't check the keys of the race, everybody has to stay above the dog leg into these guys. Cross on over to the start-finish line. A little Nerf bar bing there from Dakota Pignataro. So Tony Cook went on the outside hard. Caution flag flies here on lap number 1. Big right back here on the back straightaway. Several of these wheeling modifieds are absolutely shredded. Carson Colechland has a tore up right front tire. Chris Schaffner head on to the outside, safe for barrier. Corey Riptide Tesner hard as well on the inside wall. It looks like his toe link will be broken. We'll back that ass up here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel for an instant replay and take you down on the racetrack and see what happened here. Travel wall backwards here on the back straightaway. The Cactus Jack Classic is spiked quick and early here off the exit of turn 2. Mike Doyle up and over, almost on his lid there. Huge shot there for the 00. We'll back that ass up here. Take a look and see what happened. Corey Tessner and Carson Collection looked like they were the first ones to make contact. Corey Tessner looked like a little bit of a Nerf bar slash wheel rub there coming off the exit of turns 1 and 2. And excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get it back it up one more time. We'll pull up the instant replay cam and we will watch it forward to backwards here. Caution flag has flown quick and early here for the Cactus Jack Classic. Looks like a little bit of contact there from Corey Tessner to Carson Collection. Carson Collection has no choice but to bring it back up the racetrack there. Corey Tessner slams hard into the inside safer barrier. There goes Chris Schaffner. Ass in first, and Mike Doyle goes for a ride as well in his BK Property Maintenance modified. Mike Doyle up and moving here. Carson Collection, though, but a broken right front tire. He'll have to bring it down on the pit road and suffer the L here tonight in the heat race. He'll start in the back. Everybody will get another chance here. Everybody's going to advance out of the LCQ. Corey Tessner, big time tore up here, but it'll be the kid of Nicholas Maynard in this 02 Overplay modified. He'll be the race leader when we return here at the Phoenix International Raceway, live here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. The AMR safety crew out on the racetrack as they attend to the number 7 of Travo Wall. Back here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel underneath the caution flag for the first time here tonight. Just a heat race though. 10 laps are scheduled underneath the book. Caution laps do not count. Ladies and gentlemen, we had 9 modifieds round out the heat race here for the LCQ last chance qualifier here for the Cactus Jack Classic. Looks like we'll go at least one more lap around the Phoenix International Raceway here before we get back underneath the green flag. Welcome back here. The AMR safety crew was attending to the driver, the number 7 of Travo Wall, as he takes a hard shot to the inside safer barrier. Welcome into the Booty Scoot Racing Channel's WHELEN Modified Division for the I-85 Asphalt Series. Been one hell of a race, one hell of a season so far. We'll bring up the remaining schedule here. If you are brand spanking new, we're glad to have you here. A couple guys in the field here tonight making their Booty Scoot Racing Channel debut here, headed to the North Wilkesboro Speedway 2 weeks from now in North Carolina. Getting ready to get cracking and lacking here back in Phoenix, though. 3 more races after tonight. After we wrap up at Thompson, the playoffs will begin to kick off at the Irvindale Speedway. The lights are off on top of the pace car. We're getting ready to go back racing here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Nicholas Maynard, the race leader, here into the entrance of turns 1 behind Peter, the pace car. The pace car will pull down onto the pit lane. The 02 of Nicholas Maynard will have the rights into his foot to fire, whenever he would like. Inside of the Geico restart zone. Ladies and gentlemen, just remembering the keys of the race here tonight. Each and every single one of these drivers must stay above the dog leg until we finish crossing the start-finish line, and then they can break loose down as far as they want to go. Maynard on the inside with Cook on the outside. Pignataro in the second row with Fountain on the outside of him. And it looks like Mike Doyle is able to get back out on the racetrack with El Diablo. Chris Schaffner getting ready to take the green flag here again in the Cactus Jack Classic. Nicholas Maynard ready to fire off momentarily any second now to the O'Reilly's restart zone. Green flag is back in the air here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. And the black flag is being shown to the kid of Nicholas Maynard. Well, he may have went a little bit too early there on the Geico restart zone. Killer there for the heat race leader. Nicholas Maynard had to fall to the back and serve a drive-through penalty. Meanwhile, James Fountain from the back to the back here, up 7 spots from where he started. That caution flag really benefited him as they head off turn 2 down the back straightaway. Ribbon and roaring here, the Phoenix International Raceway. 4 laps to go this time around on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Nicholas Maynard having to come down this agonizing pit lane, serving a black flag penalty. Chris Schaffner pulled Nerf bar to Nerf bar with Dakota Pignataro riding side by side through turns 1 and 2. Chris Schaffner down on the bottom side of the racetrack, mixing that paint up like it's a milkshake from the Cookout Modified. He'll pull right behind the number 33 of Tony Cook there as he'll scrape the outside wall just a tad bit here. James Fountain coming across the line here. 6 laps to go on the Moody Scoot Racing Channel. Nicholas Maynard will come out of the pits from serving his black flag. He'll lose the lap here underneath the green flag conditions. James Fountain has the race lead off the exit of turn 2. It'll be Dakota Pignataro chilling right there, right behind him. Tony Cook coming as well. And Chris Schaffner, Nicholas Maynard, and these boys are ripping and roaring down the back straightaway for the Cactus Jack Classic. Make sure you stick around here on the Moody Scoot Racing Channel as we have 60 laps scheduled for the main feature here tonight right after this. And you're not going to want to go nowhere, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Cook cuts the fastest lap on the racetrack that last time around. And he'll pull around the Cookout Modified of Chris Schaffner, who's trying so desperately to back here on the outside of the racetrack. 6 laps to go this time around as James Fountain heads down the back straightaway. Fountain, Pignataro, Cook, Diablo Schaffner, and Mike Doyle, will round out the top 5 here on the Moody Scoot Racing Channel. Nicholas Maynard, the rest of a lap down here, trying every bit to get out here and get every lap underneath your book. Because you never know what could happen here. Maybe another caution flag here, or maybe somebody just lose touch here, maybe lose a lap, and you get your chance back out here. Every lap matters here in the I-85 Asphalt Series Modified Division. Race number 4 here on Season 2. I want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, over on the YouTube page located in the top right portion of your screen, you can head on over and find every single playlist now. They have a thumbnail attached to them, making it real simple, easy for you fans at home to go home and find each and every single past race from past season. Tony Cook works on the outside here, trying to run down the number 99 Modified of Dakota Pignataro, but he's got a handful of the El Diablo Devil of Chris Schaffner. And Nicholas Maynard rolling right here a lap down. He's closed the back bumper door here to Chris Schaffner and Tony Cook. But it's going to be James Fountain breaking the dog leg here in the turns 1 and 2. Trying to bring it on home here for the LCQ win. Dakota Pignataro, 2-time Dash for Cash LCQ heat race winner down on the back straightaway here. Complaining of a little bit of a tight condition right now inside of this Modified. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, at the conclusion of the heat race here tonight, these guys will get a 2-minute warm-up session. We're 3 wide here in Phoenix. Schaffner on the bottom, Cook on the top side. You can't have a Cookout without Cook on the outside. And here comes Maynard. He's a lap down, just playing and bugging around here, trying to make something happen here. Mike Doyle trying to catch back up to the back half of the back. Chris Schaffner will get loose through 2. Down the back straightaway here, 2 laps to go on the Moody Scoot Racing Channel. James Fountain sails through turns 3 and 4. Dakota Pignataro going to have to put one hell of a lap together. 1 lap to go. The white flag is in the air for James Fountain here live on the Moody Scoot Racing Channel as he sails through turn 1 and 2. Tony Cook, Nicholas Maynard battling it out here off the exit of turn 2. Fountain, Pignataro, Cook on the bottom side. It won't be for position for Maynard. They'll battle down the back straightaway door to door. But it'll be James Fountain heading through turns 3 and 4 for the final time here tonight. And he'll drive his way through the field and he'll win tonight's heat race for the LCQ for the I-85 Asphalt Series WHELEN Modified Division. James Fountain will start in the 7th place spot here tonight and add that to the tally book of wins here. See how we shake out here for adjustments. 2-minute warm-up session right around the corner. Stick it right here on the Moody Scoot Racing Channel. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back here on the Moody Scoot Racing Channel for the Cactus Jack Classic. We just had one hell of a heat race, and whoa, the camera guy is giving us a lot of action here in the grandstands, and what can I say? It is kind of fat. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to ask you guys to go ahead and rise and stand as you're able to, just like the rest of these guys have. And we are getting ready to tack on tonight's national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, now presenting tonight's national anthem live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel here from the Phoenix International Raceway will be the Phoenix International Raceway's color guard. As ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we may be battling a technical difficulty here. Give me just a moment here. Maybe it looks like the band was instructed to play "Oh Canada" here tonight, but ladies and gentlemen, we are in Phoenix, baby. Things are getting ready to get wicked here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And we would ask the DJ to please go ahead and please cut off the music. Ladies and gentlemen, rise as you're able to. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to go racing here live at the Phoenix International Raceway for the Cactus Jack Classic. The warm-up session is momentarily almost wrapped up here. Several guys down in the garage complaining to their crew chiefs here at the Cactus Jack Classic about a tight condition with the racetrack beaming down with a hot blistering sun. You see the track temp right there of 91 degrees. Ladies and gentlemen, we just wrapped up our LCQ race that saw the race winner of James Fountain go to victory lane after driving up through the field from Greenville, South Carolina. Dakota Pignataro came so close to picking up his third Dash for Cash LCQ victory. 8 seconds remain here in the warm-up session. Make sure you go grab another beer, light another cigarette, go grab a thing of popcorn, go grab you a big grab ass of that ass of your old lady. Tell her to sit down. We're getting ready to watch some I-85 asphalt racing here tonight in Phoenix. The white flag is in the air here for the warm-up session. Getting ready to go racing here for 60 laps for the Cactus Jack Classic. Ladies and gentlemen, getting ready to go racing here tonight in Phoenix. This will be your front 6 rows, your starting 12 spots here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Guys are loading into tonight's main event, and we're getting ready to kick things off here live tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, this is only race number 4, so you haven't missed anything here. Make sure you head on over to the YouTube page located in the top right portion of your screen to get tonight's event after it is posted. Driving the number 71, sitting on the pole here tonight, that's the Sunset Modified of Adam Fulford. Driving the number 8 Sunoco Modified from Greer, South Carolina, that's Showtime Chase Johnson. And driving in the second row inside, that's the Bass Pro Shop Tracker number 40 of Michael Johnson. Starting in the 4th place spot, second row from Union Beach, New Jersey, that's the real deal, the number 66 Boardwick Modified of Neil Rutt III. And starting in the 3rd row on the inside, driving the number 23 Ruthermine Modified, that's the Boogeyman from Greer, South Carolina, John Michael Bryant. Starting on the outside of him, driving the number 27 Modified, making his Booty Scoot Racing channel debut, that's Adam Peeler. Driving the number 24 Country Time Lemonade Kool-Aid Flavored Packet Mix Modified, that's the Season 1 champion from Greenville, South Carolina, of James Fountain. Starting on the outside of him, driving the Allied number 99 modified from New Bern, Dakota, Pignataro. And driving the Cookout number 22 modified from High Point, North Carolina. That's the number 22 of Chris Schaffner. Driving the number 33 Bald Eagle Piss USA modified. That's the 33 of Tony Cook. And driving the 02 Maynard Motors Overplay modified from Wilford, South Carolina. That's the kid of Nicholas Maynard. And driving the number 8 modified from Buffalo, New York. That's the man of Carson Kletchland. And on the inside of him will be the number 10 Mayhew modified of Corey Tesner. Starting shotgun tail end of the field here tonight will be the number 7 modified from Pilser, South Carolina of Travel Wall. Mike Doyle will bring it on out from the pits here to start tonight's main event here. Looks like we'll take one more lap around the Phoenix International Raceway before we kick off tonight's Cactus Jack Classic. Ladies and gentlemen, 60 laps to take on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel's WHELEN Modified Division here tonight. Excuse me, you better brought your earplugs. There's going to be a loud one here tonight. We've already knocked out our heat racers. The top 6 drivers, that'll be the front 3 rows. Yes, the front 3 rows, excuse me, will be the drivers that lock themselves in on time and guarantee themselves a starting 3 row spot. Keys of the race here tonight are going to be to avoid the chaos. If these modifieds find a way to pile up here, especially running through this dog leg, you'll find a problem. About to have to get out of the way. Save those Hoosier tires. No sets of tires here tonight, as you see above your screen. 0 fast repairs. You got to take care of that modified here tonight. Track temperature is going to be a crucial fact here. We are in the desert. The sand is constantly blowing on the racetrack. You see it piled up down there at the bottom of the exit of turn 2 after the track jet dryers have come through and swept it off of the racetrack. And no cutting the dog leg before the start-finish line. We're getting ready to see these guys go rip and roar here tonight at the Phoenix International Raceway. So we're getting ready to go racing here. The pace car is pulled on the pit lane. Adam Fulford's on the pole here for the 4th time this season. Will anybody have something here to be able to start on the front row? Adam Fulford will have a shot here tonight to find a way to victory lane. Green flag getting ready to fly here in just a moment here. The Phoenix International Raceway. Green flags in the air here live for the Cactus Jack Classic on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Sailing down 2, 3, 4 wide down into turns 1 and 2 off the dog leg. It'll be Fulford and Chase Johnson battling door to door here. Beating and banging here 3 wide. Back here is Tony Cook. Schaffner on the outside. Pignataro up the middle. And it looks like Adam Peeler will escape down the back straightaway all on his own. Tony Cook will sail out of that mess right there, find a way up to the top side of the racetrack. Dakota Pignataro driving this number 99 Boardwick modified, trying to find his way up to the front. Neil Rutt will move to the outside of the boogeyman of the 23 machine of John Michael Bryant. James Fountain went out, pull Nerf bar to Nerf bar with the boogeyman. Adam Peeler serving his way up through the field. 2 laps are completed here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel Cactus Jack Classic. Live here on a hot day underneath the brutal sun here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Chris Schaffner trying to make a move here around the number 99 of Dakota Pignataro. Just can't quite get his nose up underneath them. And Nicholas Maynard here running on the back half of the pack. Nicholas Maynard was the heat race winner. Went a little bit early in the restart zone. We would hear him scream and bitch over the radio complaining about he did not go early. So we'll have to see how things shake out there for the admin, but it doesn't matter. The battle for the race lead is on. It's top Chase Johnson pulls Nerf bar with Adam Bolt for the battle off of the dog leg down on the bottom side of the racetrack. These 2 guys are not going to spare each other, and it's Chase Johnson already picked up a WHELEN modified victory this year at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Adam Fulford said he felt like he had that one stolen for him, working off the exit of turn 2. Heading through the banking of turns 3 and 4. Everybody working their way off the exit of turn 4. Back down to the bottom side of the dog leg. Michael Johnson working his way up through the field. Several guys battling some internet connection issues here. Michael Johnson works the back bumper here of James Fountain through turns 1 and 2. Riding on board the Season 1 modified champion of James Fountain. He's got an earful, or should I say a Nerf bar full of the number 40 Tractor Bass Pro Shop machine of Michael Johnson battling their way through 3 and 4. Michael Johnson will pull the slide job off through 3 and 4. James Fountain went to stir up the pot here, trying to make something shape here. Up 2 spots so far. Corey Tessner hard charging his way up through the field in this number 2 Mayhew Modified. Corey Tessner had the fastest lap in practice. Will that transfer over here tonight to the main event? Corey Tessner said he needed all the laps here tonight. We will have 65 laps in the bank here tonight if we need them. Ladies and gentlemen, 60 laps with 5 laps of overtime in the bank if we need them. Hopefully not. The country top modified, of James Fountain here in a backup here tonight after going around in the qualifying session and smacking the air cleaner off of his number 24. It was non-repairable. But go ahead and pull out the backup modified off the exit of turn 2 now. He's got an earful of a hard-charging Adam Peeler making his Booty Scoot Racing Channel debut here tonight at the Phoenix International Raceway. Adam Peeler trying to peel his way up through the field, no pun intended. Shows one hell of a racetrack to choose on his debut here at the Phoenix International Raceway. Heard that Adam Peeler will be looking to go full time here. He'll meet the threshold as you had to participate in at least 3 or more races full time to be championship eligible for the playoffs. Top 8 drivers in the points will advance to the playoffs. We'll have those for you right after we get done moving and grooving here, getting the field situated. Everybody looking to be single file here through 3 and 4. The boogeyman of John Michael Bryant over the radio there to his crew chief up on the box saying it is absolutely plowing tight out here. John Michael Bryant says if we cannot get a chance down here to adjust on this 23, we are in big trouble as he continues to bleed backwards. Corey Tessner will look down the bottom side, look back right. He's looking to go 3 wide up the back stretch here. And we got about 3 different packs moving and grooving here. Dakota Pignataro, Tony Cook, and Carson Colechland will be the second pack here off the exit of turns 3 and 4. Nicholas Maynard and Chris Schaffner battling it out here. 10 laps are complete here in the Cactus Jack Classic. Live here at the Phoenix International Raceway. You know why they call it international? Because tons of different race cars, tons of different splits and series and disciplines race around here. This beautiful racetrack here in the desert. 2 wide off the exit of turn 2. Maynard, Schaffner trying to give each other no inch here. Maynard have no choice but to pull back in the line. The battle for the race lead is starting to shape back up. Neil Rutt III, the real deal, has joined the party. And it looks like he's brought no gifts, no cake, no ice cream. He's looking to get around Adam Bolt for 3-2. Working off the banking here in turn 4 of the Phoenix International Raceway. And you might ask yourself, this is one wonky ass looking racetrack, and I got the answers for you because I have the answers for everything. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2008, we used to go almost backwards here on the Phoenix International Raceway, and what is now turns 1 and 2 has become turns 3 and 4, and vice versa. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of vice, John Michael Bryant, we talked about him on that plowing tight conditions that he is getting the vice grips ready. He is almost desperately pleading for a caution flag, but he says he'll bring it down on the pit road underneath the green if he has to. This thing is absolutely driving like a tractor. Tons of stories developing out of the Booty Scoot Racing Channel's garage here. The rumor was stirring up John Michael Bryant in this 23 Gorilla Mod Modified was not going to be able to participate full time here next season if we were to have another modified division. John Michael Bryant gets big loose there, but he's able to hold on to it. Adam Peeler gets set to look left. He'll look right here. We'll break it back out the front carburetor cleaner of the number 27, of Adam Peeler. He'll work the back bumper of the Gorilla Mod 23 machine of John Michael Bryant. This is the battle for the 6th, 7th, and 8th place spot off the exit of turn 2. Neil Rutt III, hard charging like a Duracell battery up through the field. He's got the left rear quarter panel on the number 71. And this will be the battle for the race lead into turn 1 here at the Phoenix International Raceway. Neil Rutt takes him all the way up the racetrack, trying to get a good exit off the corner. Ladies and gentlemen, these two guys are battling it out here. Neil Rutt III races modifieds in real life. Can he transform it from the real asphalt out here to the sim rig? 15 laps are complete here tonight in the Cactus Jack Classic. Ladies and gentlemen, Neil Rutt III running a cool suit here tonight inside of that number 66 Boardwick Modified. talked to Neil Rutt down in the garage. He said he felt real good coming to Phoenix here tonight. He felt his driving style, hard on the draft, pack racing, and if he could get a Nerf bar to some of these guys, back bumper, can he get it right here to Adam Fulford? He said he would be using that Nerf bar here tonight, looking for that first win here in the I-85 Asphalt Series. Wheeling Modified Division on Season 2. And it looks like we might have a chance that the lap traffic is up ahead. That's Mike Doyle in this Modified working off the exit of turn 1 and 2. Mike Doyle is going to have a hard charging race leader right behind him. You see the gap there as Adam Fulford works his way off the exit of turn 2. Meanwhile, James Fountain hard charging up through the field, but he's got nothing on the number 10 Modified of Corey Riptide Tesner. Corey Tesner up 8 spots from where he started. Carson Collechlin up 6. He's trying everything in the book to get to the front here. Caution flag is out. Caution flag is out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Not sure who for. We'll have to back that ass up and take a look. Not sure what the hell happened there. Carson Collechlin doesn't look to be affected by it. Tony Cook neither. Travo Wall possibly. Maybe Mike Doyle as he was in front of the race leader. I would figure we would see what was going on here. It looks like, no, Chase Johnson's going to be the victim here off the exit of turn 2. We'll back that ass up for the instant replay and take a look and see what happened to Chase Johnson. He had a fast Modified in practice. It looks like he was able to stay out of the LCQ heat race. Near miss there from the sand barrels and near disaster for Chase Johnson. We'll back it up here and take a look. Was working about a 12-13 green flag lap run there, riding on board with Chase Johnson as he works his way through turns 1 and 2. Looks like it just steps loose on him as he gets down on the bottom side of the apron, headed right towards the sand barriers, and he's able to keep it out of them there. Whoa, what a save from the number 8 of Chase Johnson. We'll back it up one more time. This will give us a great angle at that sand barrier and how damn close Chase Johnson was of having his day ruined here tonight in Phoenix. Near millimeters from smacking the sand barrier and putting us underneath the red flag here as we would have to clean up all that disaster. Chase Johnson will escape near death here tonight at the Phoenix International Raceway. Get this Modified up and rolling here. But the caution flag is out. This is going to be brutal for the guys that was up here battling for the race lead. Adam Fulford, Neil Rutt will have a chance to recharge here. So will we as we return in just a moment at the commercial break. Be back after this. Lights are off on top of the base car here at the Phoenix International Raceway. Looks like we will return racing this time around as Chase Johnson and the number 8 Sunoco Wheelen Modified will spin off the exit of turn 2 here right at the entrance of pit road and nearly escapes disaster, but he's back out here on the racetrack. We're going to work his way back up through the field. Chase Johnson up there in the point standing. He's got a win at the Bristol Motor Speedway, and that was not exactly what he was looking for. The Sunoco number 8 will try to clean up his tires here and get it ripping and rolling back up here as we get ready to return back to the green flag. Live at the Phoenix International Raceway. Pace car is onto the pit lane, and Adam Fulford will work his way through 3 and 4 as the race leader. Neil Rutt will have a chance to charge right back at Adam this time around. How will the real deal Neil Rutt choose to do it? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you, every single one of these drivers must stay above the yellow line to the cutting the dog leg until they get across the start-finish line. Looks like everybody was able to manage their way. Look at these Modified selling right to you, right through your living room. Green flag works back off the exit up turn 2 down the back straightaway here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. You're watching your favorite drivers beat and bang Nerf bars here in Phoenix. We'll throw you down onto the racetrack for tonight's first I-85 Asphalt Series Fast fast and loud as everybody gets active here tonight in Phoenix. Back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, Adam Fulford still has the race lead as they work off the banking of turns 1 and 2. Neil Rutt the third has lost a little bit of touch there underneath the fast and loud. 25 laps are complete here out of the scheduled 60. We got 5 in the bank for the overtime if we oh so desperately need them. The Sunoco modified of Chase Johnson has absolutely crawled his way back up through the field. He's back up in the 8th place spot after crawls in the caution flag there momentarily. And if, ladies and gentlemen, you didn't know, now you know. You caused the caution to go to the tail end of the field. Carson Colechland battling some internet connection issues here down the back straightaway. It'll be Adam Fulford for the race leader with Rutt charging right behind him. Tessner, Fountain, Peeler rounding out the top 5. Adam Peeler all over this back bumper from the Country Time Season 1 modified champion of James Fountain to bring it back down to the bottom side of the dog leg here. And he and Adam Peeler continue to bang their bars here at Phoenix. James Fountain will just let Adam Peeler on by. Chase Johnson, the 8A the 8 from Chase Johnson battling 8B of Carson Colechland. As the battle back here goes down the back straightaway, hard shot to the inside wall. Caution flag flies. Caution flag flies. Here's Chase Johnson, Carson Colechland get into a piston match here on the back straightaway. We'll back that ass up here for the instant replay here. Wasn't much of a wreck, but damage and contact was made here down the bottom side. Chase Johnson almost up and over off the front, left front of Carson Colechland. We'll battle it out here. Take a look. Chase Johnson gets into the left rear. Carson Colechland buffing down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Chase Johnson almost goes up and over right there. We'll back that ass up here. See if he can't ride out the front nose of Chase Showtime Johnson as he was moving and grooving his way up through the field. Maybe it looks like Chase Johnson got his Nerf bar in between. His right front tire into the Nerf bar section of Carson Colechland and that number 8 machine. And looks like Carson Colechland isn't happy with Chase Johnson and that number 8 machine. We might have a tussle and bustle here at the Phoenix International Raceway. But Adam Fulford doesn't got it quite wrapped up like he did earlier through these heat cycles on these tires. Neil Rutt III starting to crawl back up through the field. Back momentarily here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Keep it right here. Don't let your grandma grab the remote. Ladies and gentlemen, the lights are still on top of the pace car as he'll stay out of the pit lane this time around. Welcome back to the Cactus Jack Classic for the I-85, Interstate 85 if you want to be particular, WHELEN Modified Division. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been one hell of a show up to this point. Adam Fulford has put on a show. That has been the race leader, the number 71 here, Adam Fulford. 2 victories in his name up to this point. It's Chase Johnson has got the other one. Adam Fulford, though, it's swept the season so far on the poles. Will anybody have anything here tonight for the number 71? Neil Rutt III started to close the gap there on the back half. Like he backed up a tad bit, maybe trying to save a little bit of the Hoosier tire. Had a slight green flag run earlier tonight in the event, ladies and gentlemen, and it really started to affect some of the handling on these modifieds. We've seen John Michael Bryant complaining about tight conditions. Corey Riptide Tessner had the fastest lap in practice. So it was no joke to see maybe Corey Tessner work his way back up through the back half of the field. He's currently in the contention spot for the hard charger, up 10 spots from where he has started tonight's event. Corey Tessner telling his crew chief he's doing okay. He just needs a bottle of water to have it ready to go at the conclusion of tonight's event. Adam Peeler, though, making his Booty Scoot Racing channel debut here. He'll start on the second row on the restart here. Halfway to go. 30 laps are in the book. 60 are scheduled here tonight for the Cactus Jack Classic. Adam Fulford will be the race leader. The pace car is on the pit lane. Adam Fulford and Neil Rutt will be on the front row. Getting ready to redeem ourselves here and hopefully re-rack them and get them re-rolling here in Phoenix. The crowd will rise up to their feet. It'll be all in the hands of Adam Fulford, whatever he wants to. Ladies and gentlemen, green flag flies back here in the air for the Cactus Jack 100. For the Cactus Jack Classic. Hey everybody, elects to choose to go down to the bottom side of the apron through the dog leg. Adam Fulford will have the race lead through turns 1 and 2. But Corey Riptide Tessner will bring it door to door here. Nerf bar with Neil Rutt. But Neil Rutt will get the gas down first, and he'll pull past the number 10 of Corey Tessner. James Fountain to see the one modified driver here. This 24 pink and yellow Country Time modified. Won the season 1 championship wrecked tonight in qualifying. He's currently in a backup modified as he's rounding out the 4th place spot, trying to circle his way up through the field. Adam Peeler gave James Fountain a handful earlier tonight. Really give it to him again off the exit of turn 2 down the back straightaway. Nicholas Maynard looking far left of Chase Johnson. He'll complete the pass here in the turns 3 and 4. Chase Johnson will have to pull back in the line. He'll pull right back around the 0-2 modified of Nicholas Maynard. John Michael Bryant up and moving here again on the I-85 Asphalt Series. Working their way through the dogleg banking here at the Phoenix International Raceway. Carson Collection rips the boards here through turns 1 and 2, and Nicholas Maynard, the kid right behind him, John Michael Bryant off of 2. Chase Johnson is rolling back through the field here once more at the caution flag. Contacts made there between Carson Collection and Michael Johnson. Look at this 5-way battle here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. For position, these guys not sparing each other an inch here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Johnson gets the lead out front here. Out of this lead pack, Collection will battle Nerf bar to Nerf bar here with Showtime Chase Johnson as he battles some internet connection issues. Nicholas Maynard has no choice but to pull back in the line. Riding on board the kid of Nicholas Maynard here. 35 laps are complete. Cutting the dog leg apron here. Chase Johnson still trying to get around Carson Collection. There's one more car on the inside. That's a hard charging Chris Schaffner. He's worked his way back into the battle here, 35 laps in. Been a while since we've seen Chris Schaffner have a great run here in the I-85 Asphalt Series. He's got the kid all up the back end of that cookout modified. Nicholas Maynard must be smelling a chicken tender Cajun fried tray out the ass end of the number 22 of Chris Schaffner. But Chris Schaffner will pull away from the 0-2 and all over the back bumper of Carson Collection. Battles all over the racetrack here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Neil Rutt III will look for the race lead around Adam Fulford down into 3 and 4. Neil Rutt III, the real deal, coming to life here, closing laps. 37 are in the book out of the 60. And Neil Rutt trying every bit that he knows out of his notebook back home in New Jersey to get around Adam Fulford. He'll ship him up the racetrack right there. Make him hold his line, and Neil Rutt will pull off the slide job off of turn 2. It'll be Rutt, Fulford, Tessner, Peeler, Bryant, the top 5 off the exit of turn 2 and down the back straightaway. Chase Johnson back down the bottom side of James Fountain, the season 1 champion, battling their bar to their bar here in the modified division. If you're not loving what you're seeing, grab your shit, pack it, and go. You're not going to like it. You're going to love it. James Fountain's got some extra help here. Carson Gillespie's back in the battle here with Chris Schaffner. And Nicholas Maynard's got that thing absolutely yawed out here. Carson Gillespie sideways, and the caution flag flies. Caution flag flies here for the number 8 of Carson Gillespie from Buffalo, New York. And we will back that ass up here. Tons of northern drivers in the field here, mixing and matching here on the West Coast with some southeastern guys. Seen a couple guys out there from the Carolinas, but this one's going to be the Buffalo, New York driver. And the Bills didn't have any luck this weekend, and it doesn't look like Carson Gillespie's going to have any more. We'll look. Working the left north bar, of James Fountain. Just gets a little bit of arrow loose here. It gets loose and goes around. Maybe gets a little bit of help from Nicholas Maynard to finish off the spin. We'll back it up here, and we will ride out the tail end of Carson Gillespie and see if there was any kind of contact made there. Chris Schaffner works the backside of the number 8 of Carson Gillespie. Carson Gillespie looks like it may have lifted up to the paint there. Just looses and boosters here and goes around, and maybe it looks like Nicholas Maynard avoided the contact there. We'll back that ass up one more time and ride out the front nose of Nicholas Maynard. Carson Gillespie. Want to make sure he probably gets a chance to look at the replay here before he goes blaming anybody. Whoa, a close one here at the Phoenix International Raceway. Carson Gillespie will go around off the exit of turn 2, and that has triggered the caution flag, but Adam Fulford has redeemed the race lead over Neil Rutt. So Neil Rutt, again, will have to hold on here for another restart and hopefully have another shot at the back bumper of Adam Fulford, our pole sitter, who's led a majority of the laps led here tonight. This number 71 modified. Back in just a moment here for the Cactus Jack Classic. If you want to stick it right here, don't go nowhere. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. It's been one hell of a show here tonight. Here are the point standings for the I-85 Asphalt Series WHELEN Modified Division. Adam Fulford has dominated Season 2 here, and Neil Rutt III has been right there on his ass. Chase Johnson has the other victory, but he struggled to grab up some extra points to bring home his extra point title. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to go back racing here just momentarily. Peter the Base Car is on the pit lane. The DJ will kill the music here. Adam Fulford, Neil Rutt will have another shot at it here to battle for the race to win at the Phoenix International Raceway. Green flag is getting ready to go back in the air here for the Cactus Jack Classic. Green flag is back in the air. Adam Fulford slammed down on the gas. Neil Rutt will spin his tire just a tad bit there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide here at the Phoenix International Raceway. Down through the dog leg here. 3 wide into turn 1. Side by side through turns 1 and 2. 25 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel presented by Instacart. We want to give everybody a big shout out for sticking around here on the TikTok page and doing us justice. Make sure you head on over to the YouTube page and press that like button. Tons of views on the page, not a lot of likes. It doesn't add up, and I went to school. Corey Tesner up 11 spots right now from where he started in this Mayhew WHELEN Modified. Corey Tesner never won a feature race here on the Modified Division. Does he have enough here tonight? If he does have enough, he's going to have to get around this number 27 of Adam Peeler, who is moving and grooving up through the field right now. Adam Peeler working down through the dog leg. He'll get up around Chase Johnson. They're 3 wide again, and Phoenix and John Michael Bryant will make a business decision down into turns of 1 and 2. 23 laps to go. John Michael Bryant getting big loose off the paint down there through 1. Here comes El Diablo, Chris Schaffner in this cookout 22 modified. He is sideways down on the bottom side of the racetrack, but he holds on to it. That is going to be killer. He'll lose all his track position here through turns 1 and 2. Corey Tesner is going backwards here as Chase Johnson will shoot him all the way up the racetrack there through turns 1 and 2. Michael Johnson on the inside. He's looking back here, trying to hold off Chase Johnson. Chase Johnson on the outside, Michael Johnson on the inside, no relation there. Tesner looking to book it 3 wide. Tesner looking to make it a Jet 2 holiday and book it 3 wide here in the turns 1 and 2. He'll think better of it, get hard on the brake. Neil Rutt looking for that outside Nerf bar here. These guys are insane here in Phoenix. Neil right up the racetrack there. Chase Johnson gets a little bit of a Nerf bar bank from Michael Johnson. Again, folks, no relation between these 2 drivers. Chase Johnson will look back down on the bottom side of the racetrack as Michael Johnson sails to middle. Chase Johnson gets below the apron. That'll get him way off the bottom side of the racetrack. Corey Tesler will have to compensate for it. Down the back straightaway, riding out the front nose. Corey Tesler getting into this action. Contact's made. Chase Johnson hard on the inside wall. The caution flag flies. Caution flag is out here for Chase Johnson. A huge shot to the inside. Safer barrier for the Greer, South Carolina, number 8 Sunoco modified of Chase Johnson. He was getting absolutely aggressive right there. Him and Corey Tesner started the rip and bang there. Corey Tesner got moved up the top side of the racetrack from Chase Johnson. Michael Johnson gave Chase Johnson a Nerf bar there. Maybe a little bit of a calm down meeting. Corey Tesner looking 3 wide up the middle here, though, off the exit of turn 2. Not sure what he was thinking. Chase Johnson takes a hard shot to the inside safer barrier. So a hard shot there to the inside safer barrier for the Chevy Sunoco modified of the number 8 of Chase Johnson. And Chase Johnson can't be taking too many more of those hits right there. Those are the type of career-ending hits, ladies and gentlemen, right out the front nose. Chase Johnson off the parking here, trying to get it refired. It looks like, yes, he does. He will. Chase Johnson around for the 2nd time here tonight in his Sunoco number 8. Ladies and gentlemen, caution flag flies here with 19 laps to go on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Adam Beaufort, 71 modified, has been bad fast here tonight. Have to hold on the brand new Adam Peeler when we return. Michael Johnson gets around Neil Rutt. Neil Rutt will have to adjust that wheel modified here underneath the caution brake. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back here to the Booty Scoot Racing channel, I-85 Asphalt Series WHELEN Modified Division. Coming back from the commercial break there, you're looking live down on the pit lane. Chase Johnson's modified parked on the on the second pit stall there. He'll climb out of that modified and throw his helmet inside, take the gloves off. That'll be the night here for Chase Johnson, and his Cactus Jack Classic will be over. We're still underneath the caution flag behind the pace car with the lights on here. Adam Fulford's going to be our race leader. It has been one hell of a show here. The stories are starting to line up here, and I'll bring them all right to you here in the last going to be, looks like 16 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Peter the base car looks like he'll cut the lights off from double file him. He'll head down the pit lane this time. James Fountain in this number 24 Wheelen Modified, tonight's LCQ race winner from Greenville, South Carolina. That's the season 1 champion. Crashed his modified in qualifying, which is why he even found himself in the LCQ. He said he had a bad mass modified. He could tell after the heat race win. See what he can do here. Have to come from, looks like going to be the 6th place spot on the restart. Charge his way up to the front. Adam Fulford, and it's number 71 on the front row, bottom side, will be in charge of the restart when we get to the Geico restart zone. Adam Peeler making his Booty Scoot Racing Channel debut on the front row here with 17 laps to go. A chance to write his name in the history books here in the I-85 Asphalt Series. How will it play off? Green flag flies back in the air here for the Cactus Jack Classic live here in Phoenix, Arizona. One hell of a hot day here. These guys are ready to get it up and over with. Side by side off the banking of turn 2. Working the exit. Michael Johnson snacks the race lead there from Corey Tesner for a brief second. Corey Tesner gives him a little bit of a momentum shot through 3 and 4 that he was looking for. And the slide job's completed over Adam Fulford. Adam Fulford is going backwards here. The race lead is in jeopardy. Corey Tesner shoots out to the race lead. 3 wide for second. 3 wide here in the I-85 Asphalt Series Wheelen Modified division for second. Corey Tesner has 3 lanes to block. He'll block all 3 down into 3 and 4. Contact's made. Huge shot here. They'll pile up through 3 and 4 and the caution flag flies. Mike Doyle involved. John Michael Bryan involved. James Fountain involved. Michael Johnson hard into the outside safer barrier. We'll take that ass and we will back it right up and take a look and see what happened on the instant replay cam. Pure disaster here late in the closing laps of the Cactus Jack Classic. Nicholas Maynard come close to making contact there with Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson made Adam Fulford do a bunny hop here. We'll back it up here and take a look. Contact from Adam Fulford to Michael Johnson. Sends Michael Johnson up the racetrack here. Everybody gets a piece. Neil Rutt hard into the outside safer barrier. John Michael Bryan will take a shot there from Mike Doyle. We'll back that ass up one more time on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. See if we can't ride out the front nose of one of these drivers that was up here in the front. Had a real clear view of what the hell just took place. Maybe Chris Schaffner might have had a great look. Chaos is the only word to describe that one here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll ride along with the boogeyman of John Michael Bryan as he has somehow found his way absolutely flipped around here. We'll back it up. A huge shot right there. Dakota Pignataro able to escape his way through that. We'll ride on board with the kid of Nicholas Maynard as he's seen disaster right in front of him. One shot back up the racetrack. So some great awareness right there from several drivers. Mike Doyle, unfortunately, there did not see John Michael Bryan. He'll smack the boogeyman, and his BK Property Maintenance Modified has a absolutely shredded right front tie rod, and he is bouncing around like your girl on a you-know-what. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for Mike Doyle. Caution flag flies here. Corey Riptide Tesner rips out to the race lead. He'll have a chance at his first Wheelen Modified feature win here, and a chance to climb up the points ranking if he can pick up the victory. We'll be back in just a moment. Stick around. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back here to the Cactus Jack Classic live here at the Phoenix International Raceway. We are underneath the caution flag in the WHELEN Modified Division for the I-85 Asphalt Series, and the WHELEN pace lights are on the outside safer barriers. Thank you, WHELEN, for doing what you're doing for the race community here. Things are looking a little bit different this time around with 12 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. How will things shake out here? Tons of storylines have just developed here after that huge pilot we had at the entrance of turn 3 and 4. Looked like the NASCAR Championship truck race. Ladies and gentlemen, Corey Riptide Tesner will be the guy leading them here to the restart, and on the outside of him will be Adam Peeler. Neither one of these guys have a a I-85 Asphalt Series WHELEN Modified feature win to their books. A huge day, and it looks like John Michael Bryant maybe just expired an engine down the back straightaway. John Michael Bryant has expired in an engine down the back straightaway, and he is far away from the pit lane entry. We'll see how they like to roll this here. Looks like the green flag is going to fly anyway. Corey Tesner smacks down on the gas. We're back green here in the Cactus Jack Classic live here in Phoenix. Green flag is in the air as of right now. Looks like John Michael Bryant still out on the racetrack down on the bottom side. If he can't get it off on the bottom side here through this safer barrier, he might have a chance to keep it green. Ladies and gentlemen, working our way back here through 3 and 4. Corey Tesner has the race lead. However, Adam Peeler, Chris Schaffner, and the rest of these guys. Adam Folfer working down on the bottom side of the racetrack after having the race lead for a majority of the time. It looks like the caution flag is flown. Caution flag is flown for the boogeyman of John Michael Bryant. He will now take it off of the racetrack. Not sure why he didn't do that when he expired the engine. Maybe he would have much rather went delayed green there than a caution flag here to possibly break at the end of the race. We'll back it up here and to see why John Michael Bryant brought out the caution flag. He had a chance to get off the racetrack right there. I'm not sure why he did not elect to take that opportunity and do that. So John Michael Bryant, the reason we are underneath the caution flag here, will break up the instant replay. And John Michael Bryant complaining on the radio here. It has no power. It is not firing. The lights are off on the dash inside of this number 23 modified. You hear it right here. Absolutely no power to the number 23 Gorilla Mod modified. And with him down on the bottom side here, just unsafe to keep racing here for the race leader of Corey Tesner. Everybody's cutting this dog leg, and that'll be why the caution flag flies here tonight. John Michael Bryant has expired an engine or some kind of electrical harness problem here. He's not up and rolling here. The caution flag has flown with Corey Tesner out front here in Phoenix. Ladies and gentlemen, can we stay out of the overtime? We're getting ready to find out. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back here on the Moody Scoot Racing channel underneath the caution flag here, and the lights are still on top of the base car, electing to tell us here in the booth we will take at least one more lap here around this beautiful racetrack here in Arizona. It's been a hot day here tonight for the Cactus Jack Classic, but glad you guys have joined us. Story after story after story continues here after caution after caution after caution, and we have them right here for you. Not only did we bring you the front row story here, Corey Tesner, Adam Peeler on the front row when we get ready to take the green flag here, neither one of these guys have found their way to victory lane ever in a modified race feature. Adam Peeler making his debut here tonight. What would it be for him to go to victory lane on his debut race? Huge shout out to El Diablo and Chris Schaffner from High Point, North Carolina. His cookout crew has brought a lightning fast modified here tonight, and he has been whipping up through the field. Bobby Labonte stepped away from the modified this week. Chris Schaffner will step in to this cookout sponsorship role in his number 22 modified, and the Fabric Schaffner will have to work his way up through the field here, sitting P3 on the restart. What does El Diablo have in store here, and a chance to bring home the victory here tonight? The pace car heads back down on the pit lane. Tesner, the race leader. Peeler on the outside with Schaffner in the third place spot. Fulford in the fourth place spot. Green flag is back in the air here in the Cactus Jack Classic. 6 laps remain here on the Winning Scoot Racing channel. It's anybody's game, anybody's chance to go to victory lane. We'll find out in just a moment. Back up through the gear. Adam Fulford smacks Adam Peeler, ships him up the outside wall, goes sends him around, and the caution flag flies. Holy shit, folks. We'll back that ass up just a second and take a look and see what the hell happened. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, and absolutely no intentional wreck policy here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Must keep it clean. Adam Fulford, absolutely. Not sure what happened there. Maybe he got attacked by somebody, maybe. I'm not sure, but the 27 of Adam Peeler hard into the outside safer barrier. Heading down here into turns 1 and 2, Adam Fulford. Definitely see the sparks fly right there. Gets into the left rear of Adam Peeler, sends him up the racetrack, and the two Adams will collide here into turns 1 and 2. We'll back it up one more time. We'll ride out the front nose of Adam Fulford. Not sure what the hell just took place there on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, but he definitely just shook and booked it in there and grabbed a hold of the number 27. Riding on board with Adam Fulford as he'll get into the back of Adam Peeler, the two Adam tangle. Definitely slaps that left rear nerf bar there and sends around the number 27. And it looks like Adam Peeler had no chance at getting back up there and having a shot at that one. So Adam Peeler will move around, have to get it up and rolling here. We'll back it up one more time. We'll ride out the tail end of Adam Peeler. Well, this will give us a great look there and take a look and see what Adam Fulford may or may not have just took place. Definitely contact made. That doesn't hide it right there. Sparks flying out the ass end of the number 27 of Adam Peeler, making his Booty Scoot Racing channel debut, and he gets absolutely destroyed by Adam Fulford. Ladies and gentlemen, interesting to see how the I-85 Asphalt Series admin will score that one there. Adam Fulford gets it to the back of Adam Peeler. Looks like we are headed to the overtime here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Looks like we are headed overtime here tonight on the Phoenix International Raceway for the Modified Division. We'll kill the music here because things are getting dicey. The lights are still on top of the pace car here, so we'll take at least one more lap around this beautiful racetrack. And if you're brand new here to the Booty Scoot Racing channel, we want to make sure that everybody is on the same page here so we don't get things twisted. We've seen it get a little bit confusing there in the heat race. Nicholas Maynard, driver of that number purple 02 overplay modify coming through your screen. I keep saying late model, reminding you to tune in tomorrow night here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. as the I-85 Asphalt Series late model stock division heads to the North Wilkesboro Speedway in North Carolina. It's going to be one hell of a show. The first time on the brand new asphalt pavement for the late models. Back to the subject and what we were talking about, seeing Nicholas Maynard be black flagged in the heat race and sent to the tail end of the field after doing a drive-through penalty for jumping the start. However, looking back through the replay, he was inside of the restart zone, so not very sure what sort of kind of maybe took place there. Overlooked it there with the admin here. It is going to be on Corey Tesner in the restart zone here for the overtime, and these guys cannot go below the dog leg until they cross the start-finish line. Green-white checkered style here tonight at the Phoenix International Raceway. And ladies and gentlemen, if these guys are to get back around and complete one lap, all hands are off. The next flag will win the race. The first person back to the checkered flag will win. However, if these guys were to wreck before getting to the caution flag, before getting to the white flag, the caution will fly. We'll re-rack them for one more time around the beautiful Phoenix International Raceway. Corey Tesner is going to be the race leader here down the back straightaway. Getting ready to go to the overtime restart zone. Ladies and gentlemen, intentionally wrecking, however, is no longer a part of this. It never really was, has. If you intentionally wreck somebody for a win, you will be black flagged and sent to the back half of the field. Ladies and gentlemen, I am talking to the admin right now. Adam Fulford, who's currently in the front row outside spot, is being looked at by the admin here for aggressive driving. So not very sure how much, if his second place spot is going to hold up here. He's going to have to try every bit of it. 2 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Adam Fulford, Corey Tesner battling it out here in the overtime restart. Fulford down the bottom side of the racetrack. He'll pull Nerf bar to Nerf bar with Corey Riptide Tesner. And this will be the battle down the exit of turn 2. This could be the battle for the race win here tonight. Fulford puts the Nerf bar to Corey Tesner. Fulford on the bottom, Tesner on the bottom side. Everybody else right behind him. Tesner down the bottom side. Fulford slam him on the right front. He clear himself across the front dog leg here. Here comes Chris Schaffner down the bottom side, looking for a chance to go to victory lane here tonight in Phoenix. Adam Fulford gets around Corey Riptide Tesner, and Chris Schaffner will try to get around Corey Tesner for the final time here tonight. Adam Fulford comes down into turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag is in the air here at the Phoenix International Raceway, and Adam Fulford will come across the lead. And Corey Tesner will get the second place spot, followed by Chris Schaffner. James Fountain down on the bottom side, followed by Adam Peeler, Tony Cook, and Dakota Pignataro, and Nicholas Maynard. Ladies and gentlemen, though, hold your horses. Checker flag is in the air. The unofficial results on the left part of your screen. Unofficial at this current moment. Adam Fulford comes across the race line as the race leader. Ladies and gentlemen, the admin is overlooking this one right here. We'll be back in just a moment. But Adam Fulford looks like he's completed all the laps across the start-finish line. He's currently registered as a race leader. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, and not a fan has left their seat quite yet, as it looks like the unofficial results are still unofficial. I have been instructed by the admin here as the broadcaster to go ahead and do the driver interviews, and it will be all situated when we are completed. So give me just a second here to call down onto the pit lane, and I believe we may have a pit reporter down there with the right now considered race winner, Adam Fulford. Go ahead. Got a copy.
Down here in Victory Lane at the Phoenix Motor Speedway for the I-85 Asphalt Series WHELEN Modified Cactus Jack Classic here. And it has been a hell of a race here tonight, and we are with the race winner, the number 71 of Adam Fulford. Adam, continuing to run on your strong run here in Season 2 for the Modifieds. You'll pick up another victory here and add another sticker to the top of this Modified. Let's kind of walk us through what happened here tonight. You lead the most laps, almost lost it there at the end. The caution flag comes in the second overtime. He was able to pull away. Just kind of walk us through it.
Yeah, definitely an eventful race. It was good to get the pole, and Chase Johnson was really strong at first, and honestly, I thought we were going to lose the lead there, but able to get it back and lead a good amount of laps. Neil put on a hell of a race as always. He's hard to beat, and it's good racing with him. I don't really know what happened when the wreck that I got caught up in. I know we were 3 wide, and I don't really know what all happened. I'll have to go back and watch the replay, and then the restarts just kind of played them all correctly, and don't really know what happened to the last one. I don't think I really made a whole lot of contact with Corey. I think it was just hard racing, but I'll have to go back and look at the replay. If it was, then I would again apologize to him on that. Not how I raced, but given the circumstances, I won't go sit and lose that race over some BS. So, but that's the point. Race. That's just how racing's going to be. But obviously, I couldn't do it without my sponsors. So, Sunset Pest Control, LNA Tire and Auto, Card Press and Supply, Quality Marine Welding, ECR, Coleman Designs, LTP Leave the Pack Broadcasting, or Leave the Pack iRacing Series, WD Broadcasting Network, On Tap Performances. Probably forgetting a few other people. Got to thank yourself, Nick, for putting on this league, and Booty Scoop for sitting there doing the broadcast. Things look badass as always.
And that's the driver, the number 71 of Adam Fulford. He'll go to Victory Lane here tonight in Arizona. We'll scoot down here to the runner-up, Corey Tesner. Corey Tesner, kind of walk us through your night here tonight at Phoenix. You are not happy there. As you are a Phoenix king. We've seen you go time after time with laps around this racetrack on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Just kind of walk us through what you had in your modified here tonight. Got up front and led some laps.
Yeah, we knew we had a fast car whenever we unloaded, was fastest in practice. And then we ended up messing up there in qualifying, dug ourselves a hole, but we were able to make it back to the front all the way from the back. Felt pretty confident after those past two restarts. And then, what they say, 8 tires turns better than 4, so we'll put that one in our back pocket and move on.
Corey Tesner will gather up his stuff here tonight at Phoenix and look forward to 2 weeks from now to North Wilkesboro Speedway. We'll scoot down here to the P3 podium finisher, driver the number 22 Cookout Modified of Chris Schaffner. Chris, kind of walk us through your race here tonight. Back in the top 5, back on the podium here in the I-85 Asphalt Series. Just kind of going through your head here after a chaotic last 2 overtime restarts.
I had a lot of fun doing this race. I haven't had a big chance to do a lot of practice runs here. I had my first kid 3 weeks ago, so been super busy with that. Coming from what position did I start? 8th, I believe, and all the way up to 3rd. I changed positions a lot during this race, and I was just trying to run my line and not really worry much about anybody else, and it worked out.
Congratulations to the new dad of Chris Schaffner. They'll bring home a trophy here tonight for the 3rd place finishing spot at the Phoenix Motor Speedway. We'll shoot down here to the 4th place runner-up, the Season 1 champion, Country Time lemonade-flavored drink modified of James Fountain. James, I don't know how you did it. You're just going to have to shake and mix your way up through the field, and you did just that. You'll get a top 5 here tonight, P4 here at the Phoenix Raceway.
Yeah, felt pretty decent in practice. About a top 5 car, and then went into qualifying and sent her straight in the wall, so we had to go to a backup car and started in the back in the heat. Ended up going to the front in that somehow and winning. Guess the boys had me set up right, and then after the race was running up front pretty much the whole time up until got a little caution and had to sit in the back for a little bit, but somehow the seas parted and I made my way up to P4, and I'm going to be more proud of the boys back at the shop, and want to thank everybody for coming out and having a good time, and I'll see you in a couple weeks.
James Fountain continues to look to climb up the points ranking here and defend his Season 1 championship in the I-85 Asphalt Series. We'll scoot out here to the top 5 finisher here, the number 27 of Adam Peeler. Adam, you'll make your Booty Scoot Racing channel debut here tonight via off the friends list of Neil Rutt. Kind of glad to have you in here tonight. You raced very clean. Other guys raced you respectfully. You got out front there for a little bit and almost looked like you maybe had a chance here late to kind of walk us through it.
Yeah, man, that's a big thanks to Neil and Dakota and those guys for bringing me over. Thank you guys for allowing me to be here. Yeah, it was early on. It was just, trying to show respect to you guys and show you guys that I can race clean, and that was kind of the goal for the night. And then as it got down towards the end, I realized I actually had a chance to win the thing. Started 6th and drove up to 3rd or 2nd or whatever it was. And the first green light checker didn't quite go the way I wanted it to. But we went back tonight, drove back up to 5th, got to talk to you guys and give me a good time to shout out Neil and say thank you to y'all. I'll be back. This was fun.
Adam Peeler will look to join the WHELEN Modified Tour race 2 weeks from now at the Wilkesboro Speedway. He'll bring home a P5 spot here tonight at Phoenix. Ladies and gentlemen, we will go back here to, looks like going to be the 8th or 9th place finisher, 8th place finisher, the 02 of Nicholas Maynard. Nick, kind of walk us through your night here tonight at the Phoenix Raceway. He'll bring home a P8 spot here for the 02 Modified. Yeah, we had a decent race here tonight in Phoenix. It was hot in the race car, as always. The sun beating down on the track. Felt like we saved a tremendous amount of tire here. Was really able to drive up late. Had the pole there in the heat in the LCQ race. Stepped on the gas a little too early. Got the black flag. We learned from our mistakes. Serve our black flag penalty. Was able to drive up from the back of the pack though to P8. Gain a little points after missing 2 weeks ago. And see how things turn out at Wilkesboro. See you tomorrow night. That'll be the driver, the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard. We'll throw it back up there to the booth. That'll be the driver interviews, down here for the Cactus Jack Showdown live at the Phoenix Raceway.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back momentarily as we are still discussing with the admin on what possibly has happened here tonight as Adam Fulford's rest of the race leader, but look like a little bit of beating and banging. It may affect a little bit of that. We'll find out in just a moment. We'll be back. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. It has been one hell of a show here tonight. We have just tackled on this beautiful racetrack live here in Phoenix, Arizona. We want to remind you folks here that if you are, I just want to make sure that, you folks are really making a call here, but we'll pull up the heat race first. For the results here, we'll walk through here before we get you your final results here tonight. James Fountain went to victory lane here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. This is one hell of a performance for the number 24 Country Time Modified as he was able to shake his way up to the front of the field and win the LCQ heat race. Going to the feature results here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. I am hearing the final result from the admin. So looks like Adam Fulford will be registered tonight's race winner, and he has been called to the I-85 Asphalt Series admin trailer, so he will have to make a trip there after the conclusion of tonight's broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Corey Tesner rounds out the second place spot. He will rack up the extra Hard Charger award points to go along with tonight's second place spot. Chris Schaffner shot out of a rocket here tonight from High Point, North Carolina, and his Cookout 22 Modified P3. James Fountain goes from P7 to P4 there to end tonight's event. He'll round out the podium spot, the fourth place spot, and grab a top 5. The number 27 of Adam Peeler will also make that trip to the I-85 Asphalt Series WHELEN Modified Division trailer to talk along with the admin after he was turned around by Adam Fulford. Not happy with the result there off the exit of turn 2. Tony Cook will grab a P6 spot here tonight. Tony Cook has been getting red hot recently here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, looking to make something shake here tonight. Dakota Pignataro makes his way up to the field here. He'll grab a 7th place spot here tonight and his MND Enterprise Modified. Nicholas Maynard from Welford, South Carolina, and his Team Penske Development Modified 02 from Welford, South Carolina will manage home a 8th place spot here tonight after staying out of trouble. Travo Wall from Pelzer, South Carolina, looking to shake, rattle, and rattle his way home to the 9th place spot. The boogeyman of John Michael Bryan will grab the 10th place spot here tonight at the Phoenix Raceway, as well as Neil Rutt III. He'll sneak home with the 11th place spot. Michael Johnson in the 12th place spot, driving the number 40 Tracker Bass Pro Shop WHELEN Modified. Mike Doyle driving his 00 machine, didn't have the race that he was looking for. He'll grab the 13th place spot. Chase Johnson will take the 14th place spot here tonight, 19 laps down. After getting a little bit of aggressive there, he'll find a hard shot to the inside safer barrier. He's been cleared and released from the infield care center. Carson Koechlin battling some internet connection issues, battle his way to the outside safer barrier, and it's Ken's number 8 WHELEN Modified from Buffalo, New York. The 15-year-old will round out the final 15th place spot here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, looking down here at the exit of turns 1 and 2 below the desert. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been one hot day here tonight for the Cactus Jack Classic, and it was one hell of a show, one hell of a performance. We're glad you guys have chose your Monday night right here with us. I'm going to bring out the remaining schedule here and show you the final results here, where we will be heading here for the closing parts of the season. Right here tonight in Phoenix, we are heading to North Wilkesboro 2 weeks from now, and then we're heading to the IRP Raceway, and then we'll close out the regular season at Thompson. We will begin the playoffs at the Irwindale Speedway, where the top 8 drivers in points will advance to the playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how things will shake out here in the next coming weeks on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. I want to remind you to head on over to the YouTube page, especially if we're going to miss out tomorrow night's I-85 Asphalt Series late model stock division race live from the new North Wilkesboro Speedway. We'll have it right here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, as well as all of your favorite drivers. Adam Fulford will have to take the trip to the I-85 Asphalt Series infield hauler to address his actions here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, but it looks like he'll be safe to take home the trophy here tonight. We'll have all that for you on the Twitter page of the I-85 at I-85 race _. Go check us out. See you later.
Devil at my door says 2 or die.